I think it's cool, man. I think it's an awesome opportunity to play against Bellarmine's alumni team. I got a lot of good friends on that team. I think the fans are going to come out and support that. It should be fun, and it should be big. I'm looking forward to it.
To get matched up with Bellarmine, just how much is that sales now here?
Oh, I think it's going to be great to have both, fans come out and support. Both inner city teams, not too far apart. Should be a great time. Looking forward to getting a chance to play against some of those guys in that team who I have a good relationship with, so it should be fun.
TBT dropped some news while you guys were on the podium that this year host teams will have a chance to host in the quarterfinal, and the tiebreaker would be ticket sales. You guys are matched up with Lexington's regional. Just how much more important now is it to get people to come out here to potentially have that tiebreaker, and if you guys make it and La Familia makes it, not have to go play at Rupp?
Oh, it's super important, man. You always want to play home court. You always want to be around your home fans. So hopefully we can continue to sell out those tickets, man, continue to get the fans to get engaged and come out. And it's also just a good time, man. There's not a lot to do right now in the city, so just come out, have fun, and enjoy some good basketball.
You touched on it at the podium. You all have a good relationship with the players over at Bellarmine. Let's talk about that, because I know you all play a lot of pickup with each other when you're on it.
Yeah, they're all really great guys, man, that I've gotten a chance to know over the years. They got some older guys that I played against when I was in college, and they got some younger guys who I wasn't able to watch as much. But we've always had great relationships with them. It's cool that they even put a team in. It just shows how much the TBT is growing. They saw how well it did last year, and they were excited to get another team in this year. So it should be fun, man. Hoping for that there's a healthy, fun competition. Of course, we want to go out there and win, but it should be just an all-around good time, and it's good for the city, man, to bring some life back out there and to watch some good basketball.
Of course, it's important for you guys to focus on your own team, but how focused are you, being a coach now for Louisville, on getting some of those guys here to some of these games to really see what the culture of Louisville has been like?
I think it'll be really great. I mean, the guys, from last year's team got a chance to come watch and see how, crazy these Louisville fans are. So it'll be good to see, for our staff, for the players to come out and just be a part of the community, man. Not even so for the game, just to come out and show their face, man, so the fans can see them, so they can see the energy and the passion that this fan base truly has. And it'll be their first time kind of witnessing it. So I think it's going to be great for them to come out here and watch and to support, but also to just get out in the community and see the fans, and the fans can see them, because we have a whole new team this year, and it'll be just great to just so they can put a name to face.
Chris Jones is one of the guys new to the team. Put up a lot of points against you guys last year. How nice is it to have him on your roster?
It's great. I tell them that he can go out there and he can sub in for me, or I can sub in for him, so I don't have to go out there and try to play 30 minutes. I can go out there and play 10 minutes and go sit my old butt down on the bench somewhere.
What do you like about the crew you guys have this year, building on what you did last year?
Man, I love the group, man. We're super talented, super deep this year, just with a few new additions. And we just have a young team that's ready to go out there and play. I mean, the chemistry is really good. We all know each other. We all play with each other on the court. And it's just going to be fun, man. The TBT is all about having a good time, going out there and competing and, just reliving some of those glory days and those glory moments. But,
we had a chance to talk about We're really excited to get back out on the court. What is a guy like him, and when he breaks the court, what is his addition mean to this team?
It's huge. For a guy like Montrez to come out and play in this is, amazing. To get a chance to play with him on the court again, to see him try to get healthy and to show people he's ready. Montrez is an NBA guy who should be on the NBA team. So for him to unfortunately go through that injury that he did have, for him to come out here and kind of show what he can do and show that he still has it, it's not only awesome for us that we get a chance to compete with him, but for him to show the world just how ready he is to get back to where he knows he belongs.
Looking at the rest of your bracket, I mean, you have a tough bracket and a sideline cancer who's been up there in the championship before. You got Shaq Steve, Jimmy Fredette's team. You got a tough bracket.
Yeah, we have a really good bracket. I don't know why the TBT did it to us, but but it's one of those things that it is a tough bracket, but that just shows how tough the TBT is really getting. The amount of talent that's coming along, the amount of people that want to participate in it. So it's going to be fun, man, to have, Shaq's team here, to have Jimmy Fredette, his team here, who's a, college legend, BYU legend, to have Sideline Cancer, who I think actually won it one year, and then to have, the rest of the teams that's in it. It's going to be, truly amazing. It's really a hard-fought tournament. It's kind of funny because a lot of people didn't know what it was last year, and they're trying to get like a feel for it this year. So it's one of those fun games. It's anything can happen. It's a basketball game, and it's one game, but we're gonna go out there and fight and try to beat these guys.
What does this mean for you personally now you're transitioning to the next phase of your life where you're going into more of a coaching aspect? With this being maybe one of the last times you're going to compete in a professional type of way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just with age, right? You get older, you get slower, you get all this, but to have the chance to go out there and continue to compete, I've thankfully walked away from the game healthy. So to continue to be able to even compete against these guys is truly a blessing for me, and I'm very thankful, and I thank for it every day that I can get out there and run in a game, against these guys where a lot of guys can't. So it's honestly, like I said, a blessing for me to get out there and play against professionals and continue to compete, and it's something that I love to do. And as I continue to transition into the next phase, man, it's just something that I can learn from, right? You take things as you go on in your career, whether that's playing in a TBT game, whether that's watching film, you can always take something different. And to play with these type of high-level guys, you can still take something away from that.
You could be drafted this week. Do you remember some of your nerves, man, when you got drafted, or you remember that process?
Oh, 100%. I think on draft night, me and my wife closed the door, and I told everybody not to call my phone because I was just so anxious to see. I didn't want anybody clogging up the line in case I was going to get the call and what it was. But it was very nerve-wracking, but it was, a dream come true when my name was called. When I got that call from Detroit, George David, Joe Dumars gave me a call, and I was just super excited, super, just thankful for the opportunity to, hear my name called, and, I was so excited. So, for these young men, it's a dream come true, and even if your name is not called, there's still another pathway to get there. Still a lot of professional teams, whether that's in the NBA or overseas, we're all lucky and blessed to be able to play this game that we love for a living, and those guys just continue to keep their heads up, continue to push forward, and work for their dreams.
I think this is fun. It's really a really good first game, especially for the community. That's one of the reasons why we would really like to sell this first game out. The Bellarmine guys have always been a part of us. Like Peyton said earlier, we've practiced with them, we've worked out with them during our time here, so we're really close with the guys. So it'll be really nice to see this place at full capacity, not only for us but for them.
Well, it seems like the sellouts probably on the podium. TBT announced that regional hosts will have a chance for the first time to host a quarterfinal, with the tiebreaker being ticket sales. So you guys are matched up with the Lexington Regional right now,
Right.
meaning if you and La Familia make it, it's going to come down to total attendance, I guess.
Right.
How much more important now is it to rally Louisville fans to get out there?
Yeah, we always want home court advantage, no matter the level. Being in China, Europe, or the NBA, we all know how important home court advantage is. So just having that extra perk would really do us some good.
Have Chris Jones on the team. We reunited with him. He put some points up against y'all last year. How big was it to have him on your off team this year?
Oh, for sure. Chris is an amazing talent. He's wonderful. I personally know how good he is. I was his teammate for a year. I watched him in practice every day, but he's always been special. So to have him on the roster is going to be really good, especially his competitiveness and his energy, and then also his smartness. Like, he can play at any level in the country. It's just a matter of who's going to give him that opportunity. So I'm very excited to have Chris.
Trez was tweeting NBA Youngboy lyrics the other day. How locked in is he?
Trez can't wait to play, man. I know he had a tough break with his injury, but Trez is a workaholic. Ever since I first seen him when he was a freshman, I would walk in the gym at 12 or 1 a.m. because for some reason that was my schedule. And I would see Trez in there as well in a full-blown sweat. So that used to be really good. So I don't doubt him.
For you personally, to have your bourbon feature so much in this, how important is that to you?
Man, this partnership means so much to me because you have the history of Kentucky bourbon here. It's pastime, it's tradition. And then what we're able to do at Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon is kind of implement and integrate what we do with the basketball world. And I'm a basketball player, so it just makes so much sense. And the partnership with the TBT, with Dan, with Jake, those guys have been really good to me, and I'm just very excited. I want to keep this going. The Ville Bottles is a really good test run for what's to come, because there's a lot of other amazing teams that maybe want some memorabilia that we can provide. So we're excited to see what that looks like in the future.
Russ, from a basketball perspective, it sounds like you learned a lot from playing in this last year. What kind of lessons did you take from that to apply to this year?
Well, I know it's one of the more competitive leagues. Everybody that's playing has probably played somewhere important, or is coming off a pretty good season or a pretty good league. But we know that the last 4 minutes isn't I guess you can say it's different. You don't see an Elam ending too much, and coming off a season, you close games out a certain way. So we know we have to do it a different way, and the 8 points has to be done in a certain style. So that's kind of what we're focused on. We know that we have the point guards and the players to lead in games, but now it's a matter of closing out the games differently than we would. Normally we would just dribble out the clock or give the ball to our best free throw shooter, but now we have to really hone in on how to get 8 points efficiently and get it in a way where we're not totally dependent on one-on-one play. So we'll figure it out. Peyton's smart, Chris is smart, Trez is smart. I'm putting all those guys on blast. But yeah, they'll help us figure it out.
At the end of the day, this tournament was just really a great celebration of some college basketball's past legends. But how important is it for you guys to do something here, maybe even in front of the new Louisville basketball team, to show them what Louisville fans, what Louisville culture is all about?
Yeah, I think this is a good start. You have a lot of transfers coming in, and some of the places some of the schools that the transfers came from. With respect, maybe 5,000 fans is a lot, or maybe 7,000 fans is a lot. I know the SEC and the Big Ten they have some really big schools, some big budgets, and some of those teams even pack out their arenas at 15,000, 17,000. But when I was here, I was very blessed to play in front of 22,000 people, with more people trying to sneak inside the Yum Center. So it was a wonderful time, and I just hope those guys can experience just a third of what's to come this season. Freedom Hall, I think it held 6,000, 7,000 people last year, so we can just get fill that up, get a third of 22,000. That'll be great.
Some of your favorite memories playing here in Freedom Hall?
So it would have to be last year when the fans came out. My senior year in high school, or my postgraduate year, I played in a little tournament. It was the Derby Classic, and that was fun. But the best memory probably was having my Bourbon logo on the floor. It gets no better than that for me.
How many bottles of Mr. and Mrs. for $1 million box?
Bottles. That's a double entendre. Is the glass filled or not? Because if I get some dry goods, that's probably what's gonna happen. We win the $1 million, and for my cut, I'm getting dry goods. I can get 1 million bottles off of 60,000, I believe.